I got to show you what just came in the mail from Hempworx. Okay. Look, I want you to know that the shampoo and conditioner is fantastic. If you're not using it, you should use it. Yes. And then I'll tell you what else came today. My fruit gummies, the CBD fruit gummies. When you take them, each one is like 25 milligrams. They are fantastic for you and your body. I take them a couple of times a day. They help with anxiety. Do you take them?
I do. I tend to forget that I have the gummies. But I take my CBD and other.
Oh, you do, right? Right? You do. You take it.
I have some CBD pills. Not pills.
Oh, you have the capsules.
I have the capsules. Yeah.
Yes, I love the capsules. I also like the relief. This is a cream that we use to put on pain. So it's a topical cream, cooling. And so I use this all the time.
I do too.
So I'm so happy it came. And then I have the tinctures. And some people love using the tinctures, 500, 750, and 1500. So you can get more concentrated doses if you need higher amounts of CBD.
Yeah, I have it in like 6 different flavors.
Which I'm sending this up to my son. I love this stuff.
It smells amazing and it's very luxurious.
I guess that's the word I'd use. It's really luxurious. It's a top quality product with hemp, good for your skin, and enriches it. Okay?
Yeah. So we love Hempworx.
Well, it's true. I love Hempworx too. Welcome everyone to the Step Into the Miraculous today. And it is a great day because we're going to be talking about how to communicate with the world around us, how to shift our vision, our third eye consciousness into seeing the consciousness, basically, of the plant kingdom, the tree kingdom, the cloud kingdom, the mineral and the rocks and the trees. So we're going to be exploring, communicating with the world around us, and we'll be bringing on our master teacher who will definitely open us up to the beauty and how to communicate with this natural world. So meanwhile, I'm your host, Joan of Angels. My mission is to heal, inspire, uplift, and help you to step onto your miracle path and live your best life, doing exactly what you came here to do. So I'm really excited that you're with us. If you're new, please kindly like, subscribe, and share so we can grow our unique content and reach more people, beat all those algorithms, and really create our miracle tribe. Also, just want to remind you to learn how to step and use your miracle superpowers, learn how to use your intuition. You can find that out at the link below. So now, and I'm just so happy to see you. This is one of my favorite times of the week where I get to really explore the miraculous with my friends and people from around the world who are doing inspirational and miraculous things as well. So I'm going to bring on a dear friend of mine. Her name is Rachel Otto. Actually, she lives on the other side of the freeway, about 15 miles that way, south. All right. Her sole purpose in life is to spread love, light, and consciousness throughout the world with her healing energy and teaching. And by the way, she is a remarkable healer and teacher. She's here to bring inner peace to the individuals so that we have greater peace in the world as above and so below. She is a child of light and a warrior from Mother Earth, which led her to energy healing and Reiki. She's a registered reverend of Universal Life Church, a licensed angelic teacher and healer, master Reiki. She's been studying world religions and healing since she was 10 years old, and she believes in a combination of learning. I have much to teach you, you have much to teach me. So her mission is to help reconnect us to the earth, to the guides, and to the guardian angels. So I want to bring on Rachel, who I think is one of the cutest, sweetest angelic beings I have ever known, and a fantastic healer. So welcome to the show, Rachel.
Thank you so much, Joan, for having me here today. I am so excited and grateful. I just am busting at the seams.
Well, okay. So first of all, Rachel, you are uncontainable. You have that amazing energy it's like a spark of light. All right. Isn't that interesting? You have that energy of a spark of light, and I think we've had conversations about that, what that means. So I guess you could start by introducing yourself. Like, who are you?
Well, of course, today is the day that I get to be on this beautiful conversation with you, and congratulations for all that you have achieved and done. It just so happens that today is my 10-year anniversary for choosing me. It was literally 10 years ago on this exact day that I was with my beautiful family in Omaha, Nebraska, and I got to go and do this amazing little vacation with my sister. And I was in the hospital for 12 hours, nonstop vomiting. And it was that awakening moment of realizing that my life was not mine, that I was not on the divine path, and that it was time for me to step out of fear, anxiety, and anger and step into the divine love. So, literally 10 years ago today, my sister checked me out of the emergency room, and I called my husband to be, or actually my first husband, 15 years marriage, and said things are changing and I just don't know how yet. And here it is 10 years later. I have done a full cycle, a full turnaround. I am married to a different man. I live in Palm Springs. I have stepped into divine love and consciousness. I have all of my dreams have come true in these past 10 years. As much as the pandemic and Katrina and the divorce and everything has taken everything from me, I have more at this moment than I would have ever imagined. And it's just because of nature. It's because of God's will. It's because of divine love. It's from the conscious light. It's because, well, I did my work. I didn't just take a pill. I didn't just show up somewhere. I did my studies. I did my classes. I made a lot of mistakes. I walked out on a lot of high-end jobs, and I found a peace and a balance that it's just really exciting to be here 10 years later on this call with you and realizing that actually listening to the birds in the morning, getting up at 5 a.m. with the sunrise is a normal thing to do. And I just have so much gratitude for my life and for everything that the planet's gone through. It's quite an exciting time.
Kind of interesting. The planet has gone through so much. And I love that you've actually been thriving through the pandemic. Okay. Could be. One never knows. That's not our discussion. But I love how you've been thriving and like looking better than ever, Rachel.
And I'm going through menopause.
Well, let's hear it. Okay. For that natural letting go and shifting. Yeah. And just so you know, this is not our topic today, but you'll love the other side. You know, I want you to know something. You'll love the other side of menopause because then, even then, it shifts you into what becomes a category of the wise women, the oracles, the mentors. And there is something to be said. I can't even explain it. I wouldn't even know what it's like. Okay. Putting that behind us over here. Do you know this is the first time we've interviewed you? All these years I've been doing my shows, but I didn't have a lot of guests, but I'm really honored. So and you've taught me a lot. I want everyone to know this. You taught me. When your cards, your deck came out, the other deck that you had, or I don't know if it's the same deck, but I was blown away by your photography and the way you made nature come alive. So let's talk about that.
And that's exactly what she's talking about. So this is the same deck of cards, but it's not the same deck of cards. I added 40 different images. And when nature speaks to you, what this is 80 images of my own original photographs except for maybe 2 of them, like this back one here my husband actually took. But these are pictures over my 10-year journey throughout North America. And it's a way for you to understand nature and to connect and to learn about the guides and the cards. So here's a great one. I know, Joan, you love this one. This is the Sedona Grand Council, the Intergalactic Council in Red Rocks. And when I pull this card, I know that this card is telling me that the guides are really trying to get my attention and that I really have to stop and see what's going on. Where this Stone People card, this was taken at Giant Rock. Now, if you just look at this for a moment, do you get a feeling of possibly 2 forms have melted into this rock? That form to me feels like the Holy Mother Mary, and this feels like, well, the Christ consciousness. Maybe a little baby Jesus there. So here again, we have just a picture of a stone, a giant rock in Landers, which is known for its extraterrestrial beings. And yet this rock makes me feel so much like the angels are right there with us. And again, it's in stone. So it teaches us about the family and holding together. Where, say, this card is a beautiful cottonwood tree. And you can see as though it's coming out of its bark. And there's almost a hand here reaching out. I call this card because, well, standing people or trees represent you and your friends. Well, this is a coming out card. And if you got a card like this, it means that you came out of the closet, not necessarily your sexuality, but maybe you came out with what you believe in yourself, your own divine love, your own experience. And so another wonderful card that I'm going to point out is our guides. And this is one of my very favorite angel cards. This was taken at Venice Beach at sunset. And you can very clearly see a being of light or an angel in here. And so these cards, they teach you, because I did include a little booklet that gives you an explanation of what are plant people, what are stone people, what are rainbows and orbs, and what do they mean? I give you a brief enough description so that you can figure out for yourself what it means, because that's what true intuition is. It's not an old tarot deck where we're going to tell you that the swords and the wands mean this, and that's exactly what it means, and you have to go find that to this. This is the opposite. This is a general description of what things mean, like what the sun represents. The sun represents conscious knowledge to me. It represents the divine masculine, where the moon is our Luna, that is our divine feminine energy, our divine love. So when you see these in the pictures, in the cards, you can connect to that guide in the card. And the idea is, well, just like the flashcards that my dad made me when I was in 2nd grade to learn math, the cards are to teach you, to give you an idea that when you see, say, a tree that has no leaves on it, that you read the energy of the tree. It's not dead. It could be fall, it could be winter, it could be transitioning. But what does this tree, what is the energy about it? What does it have to tell you? And then you get to the point where you're not just listening to the plant medicine, because you and I both know how important plant medicine is and how much it can help us on a daily basis. Right. I mean, is that not what Hempworx is all about?
Right.
And the fact that we really want to have these guides in our plant medicine to do our highest good and not do maybe some intents that were put in there a long time ago. So by understanding the cards, by understanding nature, it helps bring you personally closer into your own intuition.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you really feel a comfortableness of all plant medicine. And plant medicine isn't just ayahuasca and cannabis. It's your vegetables and it's your fruits and it's your seasonings and it's everything that we eat. So if we actually respected, say, the plants of, I don't know, maybe 26,000 years ago. Oh, wait, what did those plants do? Oh, they became petroleum. Oh, and the petroleum became what? Plastic? The plastic cups that we drink out of? The plastic wrappings everywhere? Could we acknowledge that petroleum, that plastic, is plant medicine?
Oh my goodness. Okay, you got to stop for a second, Rachel. Got to stop for a second with that one, just so you know. Okay, really? That's right. Petroleum oil is fossilized plants. Well, I didn't even think about that. It took me a few years as I got the deck in the beginning, and I went, oh, there's no words. This is all pictures of clouds and trees and rocks. But I have found that the longer I live here in the desert, the more I see the rock people, the little stone people. The other night, one of these rocks out here started smiling at me. Yes, absolutely.
A little cyclops there. Yeah. Keep going. Talking about your stone people.
Oh, well, I thought of you that night because we were about to do our show. I think it was actually on 8/8, and I was out there and I caught, and it's dark, kind of dark, and I catch this like wink. I think that's what it is for me. I catch something out of the corner of my eye and I look over and it's like there's two eyes in the rock. Now, here's what I wanted to ask you on behalf of people who have questions, okay? So you look at the rock and I could see that it was a being in it. Now, maybe the next day it might not look the same. So what is that sometimes I'll look at a tree and I'm sure I see the tree people and then you don't, or maybe, you're in a different day. It's a different energy. So what is that all about?
That is a message that you needed at that moment. So that means a guide literally appeared to you right then and there because it was something you were thinking about. It was something that you're questioning, or it was something that you actually needed help with in that moment. So I have, I have a lot of trees that I talk to, and some of the trees have the same personality, and they really are very forward about information they have for me, just like the birds. Grandfather Crow will scold me and tell me what to do and what not to do, when it's going to rain and when it's not. But I find specifically with plants and with trees that the trolls and the fairies often speak through the plants and the trees. So you may be getting different fairies or different trolls, different elementals coming through because that's an easy way for them to speak to you. Sometimes it's a smell that they're going to put off in the flower. Sometimes the petals are literally their wings themselves, and they may go into a dragonfly or a butterfly form. But sometimes maybe they're just trying to get your attention just for that moment to let you know how loved you are and how protected you are and how there is nothing to worry about except for the fact that they don't want you to step on it or pluck it, or they don't want you to kill it. They don't want you to pull it.
Oh my God. Yes.
So, this is a great example of what you're talking about. This may just appear as a lovely flower. It's a photograph I took at Lilydale Assembly in New York. But this wasn't just a flower. Before I took this photo, it was actually a fairy in my hand. And by the time I got my camera out, it had turned itself back into the flower. When you meditate or hold a card like this, you actually begin to feel that phase, that fairy energy out of it. And you really get to connect with that individual flower or that individual fairy. What was that little bit of happiness did it want to give you at that moment?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's about greater conscious events. Trees tend to have more of what's going on in the community. I was told that burls in trees, you know, have you ever seen a burl where it's like a beautiful straight tree, and then all of a sudden it's got like a giant wart on it?
Uh-huh.
Well,
Oh, yes, burrows.
I was told that the burls are where trees hold the community's pain.
Oh,
I've
my
actually
goodness.
visited a sequoia that looked like an atom bomb, and I was told it was holding the pain of Hiroshima. And so trees are antennas to the Akashic records and all of what's going on here, but they also hold all of our suffering and pain. So trees are a great one that usually have like one main spirit in it and a lot of elementals in it, but they're going to tell you what's going on in the community. They're going to tell you what's going to happen, even more so than plants. Plants seem to be much more about helping you as the individual, keeping you healthy, keeping you on your own track of your divineness.
Fascinating.
Yes,
Mhm.
and I find that like stone people, they
Right.
represent the family. That's Mother Earth. This is the ground we walk on. You know, when we dance with our feet, it's like rubbing her back. And so next time you do a little dance, I want you to think about how you're dancing on the earth and that you are giving like just a little massage to Mother Earth as you pitter patter around and kick your legs up or spin around, whatever it is that you do.
All right.
You are on Earth and you need to connect that to her, because the more that we love her up, and it's not just a quartz that's going to give us great information, it's any rock. And it can even be a man-made rock too, because we often forget that everything on this planet is of God. Yes, everything is from
everything is
our
alive.
source.
Yes, it is true. It is true. People you can hold a necklace in your hand and it'll give you information and wisdom. But your forte seems to be tapping kind of the natural world is one of your fortes, for sure.
Yes.
You're such a fairy sprite yourself, I have to say.
Well, I hope to be, because I chose not to age. So I'm proud that I'm 49, and we'll see where it keeps going. But Joan, because you've been such an inspiration to me, for your audience, I'm offering a workshop. And it's When Nature Speaks to You. It's going to be in September. And in this class, well, when you sign up, you get the deck of cards sent to you, but only for your viewers, your subscribers, people that hear this podcast. If you write in the notes, I heard about this through Joan, not only do you get the beautiful deck of cards and the little carrying case, as well as the little booklet that tells you everything, you will get a mineral or a quartz or a stone from my very own altar. Now, I'm a bit of a goober. I do my own rock tumbling. I do my own rock mining. So the gemstones that you get were either hand tumbled, hand carved by me, or found by me at the Chief Paula mine, or one of the other mines that I've attended in the past few years. And I'm only offering this if you write in your notes that you heard about this from Joan of Angels.
Joan of Angels.
And you get the additional.
Yes. I love that. Let's show that. We can actually show them that page for a second. When Nature Speaks to You, How to Communicate with Nature. I found it today, When Nature Speaks to You. It talks about the deck. The class is Sunday, September 11th.
Uh-huh.
Open to everyone who signs up. So guys, I just want you to, and then you can go to the cart right here. And it's actually very reasonably priced. It's a magic number. So guys, I do want you to so I will have to tell you, I've known Rachel for years, ever since she got to the desert. She's an extremely powerful source being, very extraordinarily magical. I'm sure you could tell. Her cards and her teachings are definitely worth engaging with. And I want to go, I'm putting this out there, I want to go with you to the stream, to these mines. Like, okay, where are they? Are they around Palm Springs?
Yeah, it actually, my favorite mine that I go to is only an hour and a half drive from here.
Well, I want a field trip. Definitely. All right. I've been wondering, I have heard that you've been, I don't know when it was that you were giving out stones with something else, or maybe I saw it on your website and I thought, oh my God, I just saw you surrounded with all these stones and more stones coming. And so yes, I want to go with you. We need an outing, and it's back to either Giant Rock or we're going to go rock.
Yes.
Mineral hunting.
The fun is that a lot of the minerals go into art pieces I make too. So it's not limited in just stones. I do different art. And the last thing I'm going to throw into you, just because I'm a goofball, is this is my latest book that I wrote, The Prophecy Map of Nova Gaia. I actually wrote it with two other beautiful women, and it's on Amazon. It is a self-published book. It is a guidebook that teaches you how to use your own intuition in the very beginning. Then there's malas, and then I write a section in there as Dragonheart, and I channel the Enoch story again. And only reason why I'm bringing up this book is because the entire section that I wrote in here was actually channeled with Joan. At one of our beautiful weekends that we did together, her paintings spoke to me so loudly that I had to write down the creation story. So this whole section in here really has directly to do with Joan and her artwork. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm not exaggerating.
No, I was there that night. And the funny part, Rachel, is two of those paintings came back. Not Abraham, but two of these paintings came back the other day. And I heard them say, well, she's going to have to come back for the next part of the story. Because there is, I guess, what do you call that when you have to do the next section of a book?
Yep.
You know,
the second
there's a
edition.
word for that. The second, well, not even the second edition. The next chapter is something very powerful, they're telling me, and only you actually could get to it. So, guys, I'm so excited that you have met Rachel. All right. Also, this worked out well for me because now I'm hooking up to go mining with her. But Rachel, it's just so exciting to see you on the other side of the camera and interview you. And just have you on my show.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so appreciative, Joan. So excited for all the work that you've done. And I look forward to hearing from any of your guests if there's any follow-up or questions that I could answer. And we really hope that people find a way to connect back into nature, because this is our legacy, is this earth. And so let's keep her.
We live on a living planet. We live on a living planet. You know, it's like we're not living. The concrete is not quite at the vibrational frequency of life, even though it houses us. You know, it's kind of funny. I guess I just had a sort of flash into the difference of the urban desert and the rural desert. You happen to live in the rural part of the urban desert. And that just makes such a difference in life. Your eye, and I've noticed over the last few years, vision to see has so improved, Rachel. From the very beginning, I've been watching your photography, and I just want to compliment you on all you've done.
Thank you so much.
So it is, sweetheart. All right, so guys, we'll be posting the link. It's right there, rachellife.com. That's the great event that she's planning for all of my people, so you can expand your intuition and especially the world around you. Anything else you want to add, Rachel?
The last thing I want to say is that is me on The Hills, the MTV show. I just did episodes 11 and 12. So the love is being expanded out there, and the healing, because of all of the planet awakening, the matrix is broken. So don't step back into those old ways. This is our time to daydream of how we want our future to feel. We don't know what it's going to look like, but how do we want to feel? So my 2 cents is to encourage you to daydream about that future, because it's ours again. It's yours. It's mine. And nobody can take it from us.
I love it. Thank you so much, Rachel. We will be seeing you very soon. If you want to stick around, that's okay too, for a few minutes. All right. Thank you so much, guys. You're going to love Rachel. Go and check her out on her page and take that class. Oop, there we go. All right. So that was lovely. I've had some wonderful experiences ever since I met Rachel and I saw her card. She has actually expanded my consciousness into seeing the natural world around me, which is why I brought her on the show. This is why we call it Step Into the Miraculous. Step into the inspired, step into the higher vibration. So guys, I am Joan of Angels. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe so we can grow our tribe of people walking on their miracle path. Feel free to check out my intuition class so you can also improve your intuitive ninja superpowers, and check out Rachel's class as well. Have a blessed and a very beautiful day, and we will be seeing you all next time. Bye for now. See you all soon.